This morning, high-stakes trade negotiations. President Trump and the Chinese leader come to a new agreement impacting tariffs and agriculture.
Plus, cleanup operations now underway after Hurricane Melissa. Ahead, how our community is pitching in and how you can help.
And a new budget for Madison schools, the new services, and what it means for taxpayers. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to News 3 Now this morning on your Thursday, October 30th. I'm Kyrie Lee.
That's right. I'm Chris Stanford. It is Halloween Eve,
Yes.
2 days left of October. Oh my gosh, November 1st is Saturday. Are you kidding me?
Yes, clocking in on us quickly. Daylight saving time, gonna fall back an hour. As an adult, I'm so on the fall back.
Yeah. At least you're not Michelle Renee Quinn, who has to work overnight on Sunday morning, trying to figure out what time she has to get up to get ready to go to work.
Yeah, a little confusing.
Because the time changes at 2 a.m. on Sunday. It's like, what do you do?
What time do I set my alarm?
I don't know. Send her some messages on social media. Send her some love. Tell her you're thinking of her. All right, let's get you out the door. Jacob Madison went for Savannah this morning. How is it out there?
Well, definitely a little bit colder than this time yesterday. A lot of the area below freezing, 20s north of Madison and central Wisconsin, but pretty much everybody at least in the 30s, middle 30s for Madison, closer to 40 in southern Wisconsin. We are very dry right now. Current radar showing nothing, but despite the fact that we aren't seeing any rainfall, we are seeing some fog out there. And looking at the current visibility, you can see some patchy spots. Visibility a half mile in Juneau, a quarter of a mile in Boscobel, almost zero in Prairie du Chien. So just some spotty locations of the fog. Definitely just take it a little bit easy when going to your destination this morning. It is expected to continue until about 9 to 10 a.m. And for the bus stop forecast, there will be some potential fog, but also going to see some sunshine when the fog is not occurring. And it's not going to occur for everybody. So temperatures in the 30s throughout the morning, lower 50s for the afternoon with increasing clouds. No wind today, though, so that's going to make it feel a little bit better, but still not terribly warm, but that's also to be expected this time of the year, with on and off cloud cover throughout the day, highs in the lower 50s. And this is going to actually be pretty similar to the Halloween forecast. I'll talk more about that, though, coming up a bit later.
All right, talk soon. President Trump on his way back to Washington this morning after meeting with China's President Xi Jinping overnight.
The president described the roughly 2-hour meeting as friendly and says the two could be close to signing a trade deal. Despite this, Trump says he plans to immediately cut the tariff on Chinese goods in half from 20% to 10%. During the meeting, China's president acknowledged that the two largest economies don't always see eye to eye, but says now is the time for them to start agreeing.
I always believe that China's development goes hand in hand with your vision to make America great again.
While talking to reporters, Trump also signaled that the two have settled issues over rare earth mineral exports and that China could soon begin buying U.S. soybeans again.
How are the markets reacting to the move? Let's take a check. Markets are slipping in overnight trading. The Dow is down about a quarter of a percentage point. S&P and NASDAQ futures are down just slightly this morning. It comes after the Fed cut its key interest rate yesterday, an expected quarter of a point. Stocks fell after the Fed chair signaled another rate cut this year was unlikely.
Turning now to some local news this morning. A trial is set for the man accused of killing his partner and two young girls in New Lisbon.
Their bodies found at a New Lisbon home December 30th, 2024. After several days on the run, authorities captured Virgil Thu January 9th. He has pleaded not guilty. He's being held on a $5 million cash bond. A 9-day jury trial is set for December 1st, 2026.
The woman accused of killing her mother in Blue Mounds will be in court today. Sierra Schoonover is charged with first-degree intentional homicide related to the death of her mother, Heather. Schoonover has pleaded guilty but not guilty by reason of insanity. She will be in court at 11:30 this morning of a plea and sentencing hearing.
A Janesville man, meantime, found guilty of sexually assaulting a child nearly 20 years after the crime. Also scheduled to be in court today. Kyle Dean, guilty of 1 count of child sex assault, though originally charged with 3. He waived his right to a jury trial and will be in court this afternoon at 1:30.
6:04, now to the latest on Hurricane Melissa. People across the Caribbean will continue to dig through destruction as the death toll from the devastating storm continues to climb, as many are now left without a home. Here in Madison, the owners of David's Jamaican Cuisine are waiting to hear back from their families. David Blake grew up in Jamaica and most of his family still lives there. While he says it's hard not hearing from them, he says Jamaicans are resilient.
life is a one-time thing, you know. So you have to thank God that everybody's still alive. I hope we don't find anybody dead anymore, so we can always rebuild. And I was saying, so once you have life, there's always hope. You know, you have to pick up the pieces and rebuild.
And there are ways you can help. If you spend $50 or more, David will donate 20% to Jamaica.
The Caribbean Association of Madison, meantime, is working to support those impacted by the hurricane. Right now, they're actively fundraising to aid affected communities. They're assessing logistics for collecting and delivering essential supplies. So they're trying to engage with local nonprofits in Madison and Jamaica right now to ensure that that aid gets to those who need it. You can find ways to contribute right now. Just head to channel3000.com. 6:05 new this morning, President Trump announcing on social media that he has ordered the War Department to resume nuclear weapons testing.
In his post, the president says the test will be on an equal basis with other countries. The U.S. hasn't detonated a nuclear weapon since 1992. Russia last did it in 1990, and China tested a nuclear weapon in 1996. The most recent nuclear explosion was conducted by North Korea in 2017. But China, Russia, and the U.S. routinely test systems and devices that are capable of carrying nuclear warheads.
Also new this morning, the Paris prosecutor telling French radio that 5 more suspects have been arrested in the Louvre heist. It comes just days after authorities said they arrested 2 people in connection with the brazen theft of French crown jewels. Both of them had admitted that they were involved in the heist. However, the crown jewels have not yet been found.
Turning now to the government shutdown. A new analysis finds healthcare premiums for Obamacare are in for a big increase.
It comes just days before Saturday's open enrollment period. The Kaiser Family Foundation says that the price tag on premiums could rise an average of 26% next year. Kaiser Family Foundation says the reason is because enhanced premium subsidies are now gone, which is causing the stalemate in Washington.
Meanwhile, the Congressional Budget Office now warning that the stalemate could cost the U.S. economy $14 billion. A new report estimates that the shutdown will lower GDP growth for the quarter by 1 or 2 percentage points, but warns the effects are uncertain. However, most of the decline will be recovered. The CBO says the decline is the result of fewer services provided by federal workers, less spending on goods and services, and lower SNAP benefits.
Madison School District now operating under a new budget.
Our consumer reporter, Michelle Renee Quinn, breaking it down and the effects it may have on your wallet. Good morning.
Good morning. Yes, the new budget is roughly $668 million, investing in K-5 reading materials and expanding mental health support, among other investments. Now, the board also voted to raise the total tax levy to almost $480 million. That means the owner of an average Madison home will see an increase of about $684 on their property tax bill. But that number drops when you factor in the state's school levy tax credit.
We don't want to be too optimistic in terms of telling voters if you vote yes, this is what the average home tax increase would be. So we're quite a bit under our projected property tax impacts.
That November 2024 operating referendum provides $100 million over 4 years and a $325 per student increase this year. Employees will also see a pay bump of 4.95%.
Okay, so those educators getting a pay increase, that budget changing.
Yeah, we knew the property tax bills were going to go up because of the referendums that were passed last November. I think the takeaway here is that they won't be quite as high as what was predicted back last fall, but
you're still going to feel
you're still going to feel that, in this tax bill. I mean, it's several $100s starting this year, and then it goes up and up and up each year after that.
Yeah.
So prepare accordingly.
Yeah.
There you go.
Michelle Renee, thank you.
Absolutely.
Well, in other news, if you live in Middleton, tomorrow is the last day for brush pickup. Brush should be under 6 inches in diameter, stacked parallel to the curb with cut ends facing the same direction. Officials say do not mix leaves and brush. They are collected separately. Leaf collection continues until November 30th or the first snowfall, which I don't want to think about. Middleton residents can also drop off yard materials for free at the MRD compost facility in Wanakee.
City of Beloit's chosen a new police chief. The city's Police and Fire Commission announcing Commander Shanella Stewart accepted a conditional offer. Stewart has 19 years of law enforcement experience and is currently serving as a unit commander in Oak Park, Illinois. She succeeds Andre Sales, who is now working at the Seattle Police Department.
You can now visit Madison's newest resident.
You're right, Kyrian, you can. This is Siku here. I'm a polar bear 15 years old, 1,200 pounds, coming from the Lincoln Park Zoo in Chicago, arriving in Madison on Friday. Spent the weekend getting to know his enclosure as well as Barrett, the zoo's female bear.
Come on out, meet our bears. They're really amazing. Siku's been super playful since he's been here, so we're hopeful that he'll keep being a really fun guy for us.
The zoo is still awaiting the arrival of Nora, another female polar bear. She is coming from the Oregon Zoo in Portland, but the Henry Vilas Zoo says it's waiting for the government to reopen so it can apply for transportation permits.
There you go. I have to wait a little bit longer for that other bear to show up at the Henry Vilas Zoo. This weekend, that could be a bad weekend to get out to the zoo and see that new polar bear.
Yeah, I'm sure like he's loving it. I'm sure.
The chilly
conditions. Yes, real fitting, I'd say.
All right, hey, let's check in with Jacob Montesano. He's got your first word forecast. What's going on, Jacob?
We're going to see those cool temperatures continue, and you read my mind, Kyrian. The polar bear came at the right time because it's going to continue to be cool, and obviously it's only going to get colder as we head towards the winter time. Now, I've been saying for the last couple of days that temperatures have been very close to normal. Here's a look at today's forecast compared to the normal, and you can see it's almost exactly where we are supposed to be. Far off from the record, though, of 78 or the record low of 13. Now, I do want to talk about the sunset times. You know, this is obviously going to be pretty noticeable once we get to Sunday. For tomorrow, Halloween, the sunset will be at 5:51 specifically, but Sunday, the first day after the daylight savings, sunset 4:47, and then as we get towards those holidays later in the season, Thanksgiving, Christmas, before 4:30. So it's going to get dark a lot quicker, and starting Sunday, well, technically starting Monday, rush hour in the evening will be at night at this point.
All right, Jacob, thank you. And coming up after the break, the cooler weather is beginning to come up on us. Ahead, why that special cup of hot chocolate may actually be good for your health.
And we're working for the weekend in the 608 this morning. I'll have your 3 things to do straight ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
Welcome back. It's Thursday morning, which means we're working for the weekend in the 608.
All right, Josh Breider is here with your weekend planner for your family. All right, so we got Halloween weekend coming up. I mean, the weekend is just jam-packed with stuff, Josh.
There's so much going on. Of course, as you mentioned, it's Halloween weekend. And after all of that trick-or-treating on Friday, there's a lot happening for the first days of November. So here are your 3 things to do this weekend in the 608. Saturdays on the Square, down to just 2 more this season. The Dane County Farmers Market on the Square is winding down for the year. This producer-only market features vendors selling what they grow. So grab your family and friends and enjoy this Madison tradition while you still can in 2025. Later in November, the market moves indoors for the winter. The Midwest Vintage Flea is back at Madison's Garver Feed Mill this weekend. This is happening both Saturday and Sunday. The fall edition features more than 45 vendors offering thousands of one-of-a-kind finds from rare classic pieces to Y2K favorites and, of course, some timeless denim. Admission is just $5 on Saturday and free on Sunday. There are also some limited early bird entry tickets available Saturday from 10 to 11 for $20. Finally, the 42nd annual Cambridge Art Craft Fair is happening Saturday. This is at Cambridge High School from 9 to 3. Artisans from across Wisconsin will be showcasing handmade jewelry, textile and fabric art, woodworking, specialty foods, and plenty of holiday decor. Yes, you heard me, holidays. Organizers say it's the perfect place to kick off your holiday shopping, so don't miss out. For more happenings in the weekend in the 608, just go to the story up on channel3000.com. I know you're probably like, what about all the Halloween stuff? I'm going to have a special Halloween in the 608 coming up for you guys tomorrow. So.
Yes, looking forward to that one, but still lots to do overall.
A lot to do. It's like Halloween. It's like that split weekend, right? Halloween, then we're going right into November. And yeah, we're going to start to see all that holiday stuff really ramp up here. Looking at my calendar.
It goes so fast.
It does. I'm
These
just
2
like,
months just
where is
absolutely
the year
fly
going?
by.
It's insane.
All right. Josh keeping us in the loop as always. Thank you.
You bet.
Josh is always looking for inspiration to share in the 608. Got something for him? Reach out. Let him know about it.
All right, let's check in with Jacob. 3 things we need to know for our day, Jacob.
Thanks, Kyrian. We are going to see cool temperatures kind of continuing through the weekend, a little bit milder for parts of next week, but in general, these temperatures are not going to be changing dramatically. We also are going to see very little rainfall over that time period, and the dry forecast is going to continue for much of next week. So looking at the next couple of days, cloud cover and rainfall forecast specifically, we'll see sunshine early after that fog clears up, and then we'll see those clouds develop in the later afternoon and evening, mainly for Madison and areas to the west. Places to the east will still see a good amount of sunshine throughout the day, and then overnight we'll continue to see some cloudy skies, small chance of an isolated shower, mainly early tonight, because as we get later in the night, we'll see more clear skies, and for Halloween, we'll start out sunny with clouds once again developing in the afternoon. Small chance of rain early for areas to the west of Madison, and then a small chance of rain for everybody once we get to the later afternoon and evening hours. Now for trick-or-treating, I do not expect to see much, if any, rain, but if it does rain, just be aware that there is that possibility of it, but it will be very light and it should be very isolated. And this is going to continue throughout the trick-or-treating forecast with a little bit of a better rain chance Friday night into Saturday. Also could see a little bit of a wintry mix overnight Friday for areas to the west of Madison. Again, any precipitation that falls will be very light, but there is that small possibility of it. So looking at the temperature forecast, highs in the lower 50s today. Again, a good amount of cloud cover in the later afternoon hours for Madison and areas to the west, but sunny skies for places to the east. By the afternoon, everyone will see cloudy skies tomorrow. Still a few peaks of sunshine, temperatures similarly within the lower 50s for highs. And as we look at the trick-or-treating forecast, we'll see the temperature starting around 50. And then as we get into the heart of the trick-or-treating forecast, most of the temperatures will be in the 40s. Again, a small chance of showers. Won't see much. This is not going to be, the rain will not be very impactful at all. And it may not even rain, period, for many of the locations across the region. So overall, not too bad with that trick-or-treating forecast. And looking at the rain chances going forward, it is going to be pretty dry. Small chance of some rain Sunday night again, but still not going to see much. And in general, the forecast is just going to be very seasonable and pretty dry. All the rain chances are only going to produce light rain, and all the temperature swings are not really going to change the temperatures all that much.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Now to our morning health watch. Common viral infections like the flu and shingles may raise your risk of a heart attack. The new study found that people who caught the flu were up to 6 times more likely to have a heart attack just 1 month after being infected. Those who had dealt with COVID had nearly twice the risk of developing heart disease or stroke. The study's lead author says generally, the more the severe the illness, the greater the risk of cardiovascular complications.
We know that sitting too long isn't good for us, but what may help is a cup of hot chocolate. That's right. University of Birmingham study found that flavanol-rich foods like cocos, teas, berries, and apples can help improve vascular function in men who are spending a long period sitting all day. Sedentary behavior can lead to a higher risk of heart disease and stroke.
And still ahead, it is National Candy Corn Day. We're taking a look at what some viewers think and where you all stand too.
Yeah, I hope I get some. And with Halloween tomorrow, coming up in our next half hour, consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn will have some sustainable tips on what to do with all the pumpkin waste. Go ahead and snap this photo of the river and a beautiful fall skyline here. What a lovely photo. Gwen, hope you're doing well. Thanks for sending in this picture.
Yes, well, here's what's trending this morning. Today is National Candy Corn Day. Michelle Renee even brought us a little jar of them over here for us.
Love me some candy corn.
So,
Jacob, it's for you.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's my question. How do you feel about the beloved and at the same time not so beloved Halloween staple? How are we feeling?
I am Team Candy Corn.
Team Candy Corn, okay.
Yeah.
Jacob, I assume that you're Team Candy Corn.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, he's right
Shed
there.
love, buddy.
There you go.
Yes. Michelle
Take one
Renee?
down, pass it around. I'm Team Candy Corn. That's why I have it on my desk.
Okay.
Oh,
Josh, how you feeling?
I
Go
did.
the other way. I can't stand it. I can't stand it. No, I don't even want one. I don't like it.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of like, I feel like it's like an acquired taste. Like you can
Yes.
have like a few pieces are okay. So I decided to ask, like an acquired, like you can have a couple, but like not too many. So I asked some viewers on my social media last night what they thought. So far the options were love it, ew, and a few pieces are okay. So far the votes, 42% say a few pieces are okay. That's where I stand.
More for me.
So it seems like we're 3, 1, and 1
Yeah.
in our votes here.
I definitely was an ew. I voted
Yeah,
on that.
25% say ew, and
would've voted
32% love it.
I would vote love it too.
Yes, and let's.
I'm actually not a fan of the chocolate ones though, but those vanilla ones and the pumpkins. They kind of taste the exact same.
Pumpkins
Yeah,
are the
those
best
are good.
ones.
Yeah, I haven't gotten that far. Not with the pumpkins, nor the chocolate ones. Yeah, maybe just one for good. Just good measure. Good measure.
More for you guys.
Okay.
Call me weird, but I like the waxy texture.
Oh, maybe that's what it is. Well, let's take a look at some of the comments that we got. Let's look at the comments here. Okay, so actually, News 3 Now's Tanasia Shaw says it's nasty.
Yeah, I'm with you, Tanasia.
Yeah, so Paul says he likes candy corn mixed with salted peanuts. That could be good.
That could be.
Melissa says she likes candy corn mixed with cashews. So maybe you need to try that combo, Josh.
That's sweet and salty.
Yeah, the sweet and salty.
Okay,
Sounds like it could be.
That's what I need.
To defend you, Josh, I feel like if I ate a bunch in a row, my mouth kind of gets tired of it.
Yes.
So I kind of gotta eat it in segments almost.
Small doses.
It could be 10% less sweet.
There you go. Just 10%?
Just 10%.
Well, happy National Candy Corn Day.
Back after this. This morning, major developments after trade talks between the U.S. and China. The potential impact on tariffs and agriculture.
One day, we will back home, and one day we will see Sammy walking again.
Plus, the road to recovery. Hear from the mom of an ALCS school shooting survivor.
And who has the best food cart in Madison? The results from this year's food reviews. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for tuning in to News 3 Now this morning. I'm Chris Stanford.
And I'm Kyrie Lee. Thanks for waking up with us this morning on your Thursday. It's October 30th. One more day. Well, today and tomorrow left of October.
That is it. 2 more days. Halloween Eve, getting you ready for trick-or-treating tomorrow night. Jacob Montesano, we need your first warn forecast. How are things out there this morning?
Well, definitely a little bit cooler compared to yesterday. A lot of the area below freezing, and only small parts of the area were below freezing this time yesterday. Lower 30s, even upper 20s for places in central Wisconsin. 30s at least. The warmest temperature in our area is 38 in Monroe, so everyone at least in the 30s. But we are very dry, and we are going to remain dry for much of the day. But zooming further out, I do want to mention that this is the time of the year where we start to see that snow kind of mix in with the rain, and you can see some snow showers right now in parts of the Dakotas and Minnesota. Now we don't have snow in the forecast, but we will eventually. Just want to warn everyone right now. Now, as we take a look at the visibility forecast, there is some patchy fog out there. Pretty dense fog further east of Madison and also around the Dells, Boscobel, Prairie du Chien, and central Wisconsin as well. So just kind of some scattered spots. Madison and Dane County not too bad right now, nor areas directly to the south. But we're going to continue to see some patchy fog throughout the morning. So looking at your bus stop forecast, we will see sunny skies when we're not seeing the fog, but it will be a little bit of a foggy morning, also cold with temperatures in the 30s. And then as we get to the afternoon, we'll see increase in clouds, but a decrease in the fog with temperatures peaking in the lower 50s. And overall, a pretty seasonable day, lower 50s, a mix of sun and clouds. Not a lot of wind, so very typical for this time of the year. And Halloween will have a very similar forecast. Now, there will be a very light chance of rain, so I'll talk more about that coming up a bit later.
All right, we'll talk to you then. This morning, President Donald Trump on his way back to Washington after a high-stakes meeting with the Chinese president. Trump plans to cut tariffs on Chinese goods from 20% to 10% following Beijing's pledge to curb chemicals used in fentanyl. President Trump also said that both countries settled disputes over rare earth mineral exports and discussed computer chips, as well as China restarting purchases of U.S. soybeans, a move expected to help struggling farmers.
We're losing money, and it's a very desperate time.
Ahead of the meeting, President Trump announced on social media that he's directed the Pentagon to conduct nuclear weapons tests. The order comes just after North Korea test-launched cruise missiles and Russia carried out recent missile tests of its own.
Checking in on how the markets are reacting to all the news from overseas overnight. And overnight trading is pretty steady. Dow futures are down slightly, 0.2%. Meantime, S&P and NASDAQ futures are hovering right around where they closed yesterday.
And markets closed mixed after the Federal Reserve cut its benchmark rate by 1/4 point, citing a weakening labor market. This comes amid the ongoing government shutdown, which has delayed important job reports. If the shutdown continues, the Fed could lack crucial data for its December decision. Inflation remains at 3%, above the Fed's 2% target, and consumer confidence has dipped, raising potential recession concerns.
To some local news now here at 6:33. The former Sun Prairie West High School Dean of Students accused of child sex crimes will be in court today.
Robert Gilkey Messageyer is charged with 13 counts of possession of child pornography and 2 counts of child exploitation. He has also been federally indicted for producing and possessing child pornography and has pleaded not guilty. His arrest has caused significant fallout at the Sun Prairie School District, including the resignation of school board members and the removal of staff, including the principal and head of HR. He is expected in court today at 10 a.m. for a scheduling conference.
Also today, a man charged with killing a woman in Lake Delton will be in court. Brandon Bent faces several charges with domestic abuse modifiers. It's related to a case where police found a woman dead at a home on July 4th. His bond is set for $1 million, and as a condition of his bond, he cannot leave the state unless in the custody of ICE. Prosecutors say he is not a lawful resident. He'll be in court at 3 o'clock this afternoon for an arraignment.
6:34. In continuing coverage of the Abundant Life Christian School shooting, the last survivor is making remarkable progress as he leaves the hospital. When Sammy Garduno Martinez was admitted, doctors warned his mother that almost 45% of his brain had been damaged and he might remain in a vegetative state. But Sammy woke up, beat the odds, made progress, and on October 8th was transferred to a rehabilitation center in Chicago to relearn how to swallow, talk, and walk.
Our journey is not finished yet. And we don't know how long it's going to take us, but one day we will back home, and one day we will see Sammy walking again.
Sammy's family is facing massive medical expenses, including the need for a specialized wheelchair, van, and accessible home. They've set up a GoFundMe to help cover costs. Let's turn now to the government shutdown. Some food pantries are now reporting donation shortages just days before SNAP benefits are set to expire on Saturday.
And it's estimated 700,000 Wisconsinites will be impacted. It comes as some food pantries are reporting a drop in donations and say that they're also seeing an increase in the amount of need.
We want to make sure that people can get the extra food they need so they don't have to spend as much on groceries, so maybe they can pay their bills, or if they just don't have any other resource, we can help them. And there's more and more of that happening these days. Sometimes the people we help are a little concerned about that. Most of them are pretty understanding. They understand the need and the demand, and that there's a lot of people asking for help.
Meantime, nearly 24 states, including Wisconsin, are suing the Trump administration over its decision to not tap into $5 billion in contingency funds.
Herein, Wisconsin Democrats have introduced a bill aimed at restoring student meal funding for every public school. Its future in the Capitol is uncertain, as Assembly Speaker Robin Vos has previously said the state will not step in to make up for the funding gap.
Toronto Blue Jays are now just 1 win away from their first World Series in 32 years from winning it all. Toronto rookie pitcher Trey Savage, he threw a gem last night. 7 standout innings, striking out 12, allowing only 3 hits. He got some early offensive support from his teammates David Schneider and Vladimir Guerrero Jr., who knocked back-to-back homers in the first inning. Blue Jays go on to beat the Dodgers 6-1 in Game 5 of the World Series. The Blue Jays now have a 3-2 lead. The Fall Classic shifts back to Toronto now for Game 6, which is set for tomorrow night.
Wisconsin men's basketball took on UW-Platteville in a charity scrimmage game at the Kohl Center. The exhibition raised funds for Guarding Against Cancer. It's an initiative launched by UW head coach Greg Gard and his wife to raise awareness for cancer research at UW Carbone Cancer Center and cancer patient care throughout the state. Coach Gard squared off against his brother Jeff, who is the coach of the Pioneers. Junior Nolan Winter led Wisconsin with 17 points, while freshman Will Garlock and transfer Andrew Brody also contributed to the 69-53 win.
High confidence level in ourselves, and from the coaches, I think we took a good step tonight defensively. I think, in Oklahoma, we weren't very synergized, as Coach likes to say, and towards the end of the second half there, we kind of found our footing a little bit, stopping the ball, keeping it in front of us. Just it's brick by brick every day, get a little bit better at certain spots, and I like this squad a lot.
The Badgers are building off that momentum. They opened their regular season on a Monday night at the Kohl Center against Campbell University. Tip-off is set for 7.
Do you think airplanes headed in and out of Dane County Regional are too noisy? Well, here's your chance to tell the right people. The airport is taking feedback on its noise compatibility program. The proposal they have to submit to the FAA is online for your review. You can find a link to that information in this story at channel3000.com. You can email your feedback and comment in person. Open houses are scheduled next Thursday through Saturday. Public comments are open until November 24th.
The results are in for Madison's top-rated food cards. 43 vendors participated in this year's reviews. Circo Card 2 claimed the top spot, followed by Brazen Hussies, Circo Peruvian Foods, and Caracas Arepas. 26 volunteers scored vendors on food, design, cleanliness, and originality, and, of course, the overall experience. The highest scoring carts received priority placement in Madison's vending area. I have to get out and try some of these.
Oh, I don't know how you could choose one, just one. You know, which one is the best? There are so many amazing food carts here in Madison. How the heck do you get on that panel?
Yeah, gotta look
one of the
under panel.
volunteers to get out and judge which is the best?
Yeah.
Sign me up for that next year.
Sounds like a great job. I'm sure it was hard to narrow down those 43.
Oh, must have been.
Yes, congrats to the winners. Well, let's check in now with Jacob. Jacob, you got some little history lesson for us here.
Over the last 2 weeks, we've had a little bit of everything temperature-wise. You don't have to go that far back to where temperatures were in the 70s back-to-back days, but earlier last week, kind of in the middle of last week, we did have some pretty cold temperatures, and then the last couple days just slightly above that level with highs in the middle 50s. Now today is going to be almost identical to the average. The forecast high is 52, forecast low is 34. Normal high is 53, and the normal low is 35. So pretty much exactly on par with that. And as we take a look at the next 10 days, mostly in the 50s, it will drop into the upper 40s for Saturday, but then rise into the upper 50s for Monday and Tuesday. But I'll have another full look at your rainfall forecast for the next 10 days. Won't see a lot of it, but there is a small chance. The forecast on that is coming up after the break.
Jacob, thank you. Coming up after the break also, we're talking pumpkin waste. Consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn will share why you should think twice before tossing them in the trash.
And I'm Josh Breider. We're working for the weekend in the 608 this morning. I'll have your 3 things to do straight ahead.
You're watching News 3 Now this morning. Moving forward.
We're back Thursday morning. We are working for the weekend in the 608.
Josh Breider is here in studio now with your weekend planner for your family. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. It's Halloween weekend, and after all of that trick-or-treating Friday, there's a lot happening for the first days of November. Here are your 3 things to do this weekend in the 608. Saturday's on the square, down to just 2 more this season. Where's the time going? The Dane County Farmers Market on the square winding down for the year. This producer-only market features vendors selling what they grow. So grab your family and friends and enjoy this Madison tradition while you still can in 2025. Later in November, the market moves indoors for the winter. The Midwest Vintage Flea is back at Madison's Garver Feed Mill this weekend. It's happening both Saturday and Sunday. The fall edition features more than 45 vendors offering thousands of one-of-a-kind finds, from rare classic pieces to Y2K favorites and timeless denim. Admission is just $5 on Saturday and free on Sunday. There are also some limited early bird entry tickets available Saturday from 10 to 11 for $20. Finally, the 42nd annual Cambridge Art and Craft Fair is happening Saturday. This is at Cambridge High School from 9 to 3. Artisans from across Wisconsin will be showcasing handmade jewelry, textile and fabric art, woodworking, specialty foods, and plenty of holiday decor. Organizers say it's the perfect place to kick off your holiday shopping, so don't miss out. For more happenings this weekend in the 608, just go to channel3000.com. I'm excited for Saturday because you know what time of year it is for me? Chris knows.
Oh, yeah, it's when you get your Christmas decorations out.
Yes. Gosh, I wasn't even thinking November 1st.
I know.
I forgot you flipped the switch real quick, like, boop.
It's weird with Halloween on a Friday, which is kind of fun this year, but then Saturday I'll be busy decorating my house all weekend.
Putting up your tree and all?
So we've started a tradition, my husband and I, after the last trick-or-treater goes, we shut the light off and the Christmas tree goes up. We have like a 16-foot tall Christmas tree. My husband's really tall, so I need his help.
Yeah.
So I'm like, help me, and then he works on Saturday, and then I'll have the whole house decorated by the time he gets home. So.
We need pictures. Like, he goes all out.
All out.
Yeah.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Those tall ceilings, that tree, it's always chef's
I mean, the
kiss.
holidays, like, they practically are here. Like, we're talking about holiday
get you in a good
events
mood.
already. Yes.
There are going to be holiday markets that you're going to feature probably in the 608 for the next several weekends. It's that time of year where, a lot of folks are making that switch.
Also now that time to start reaching out to me about holiday light displays. I know I had a family from Platteville reach out yesterday. I'm excited to visit them, so I'm excited.
Cool.
Yeah, so if you have some ideas.
Josh this time of year.
Kid in a candy store. That's that time of the year.
I feel that, though. I love it. I love it.
Thanks, Josh.
You bet.
Josh is always looking for good ideas to share in the 608. Got one? Reach out. Let them know about it.
All right, Jacob, it's your time to shine. What you got?
Well, we are going to see some cool temperatures for now through the weekend with some milder temperatures early next week, but overall the temperature swing's not going to be too dramatic with dry weather going forward. Just a few small chances here and there. Now let's look at that Halloween forecast. Starting out sunny for Friday morning, but we are going to see some clouds develop for the afternoon. Small chance of light rain to the west of Madison early in the day, but the better chance of rain will be in the later afternoon and evening. But even here, we're still not going to see a lot. Just a few light showers for some areas. A lot of the region may not see any rain at all during the trick-or-treating hours, with a little bit of a better rain chance once we get to the overnight hours into early Saturday. Could even see a little bit of a wintry mix for areas near the Mississippi River Friday night into early Saturday. But even this precipitation only going to be light, and once we get to Saturday night, a lot of this will clear out of the area. So looking at the Halloween forecast, highs around 50 with cloudy skies in the afternoon, and the trick-or-treating forecast, we're expecting temperatures in the 40s, but we're going to continue to see those cloudy skies, and as I mentioned, just a very small chance of light rain. I do not expect to see much, if any, so this is certainly not going to be too impactful, but just definitely be aware that there are going to be a few potentially raindrops, but also dress warm as those temperatures will be in the 40s, but we're not going to see much wind, so it's not going to feel any cooler than it already is, and the forecast for Halloween not looking too bad, especially considering some of the recent Halloweens. Now this last year, the temperatures last year are a little misleading because it got to about 64 early in the day, then it cooled down throughout the trick-or-treating hours with windy conditions, and 2 years ago we actually did see some snow and windy conditions with those highs in the 30s. Now beyond Halloween and the weekend, really not going to see much rain. That rain chance going to continue into Saturday, small chance Sunday night, but really still not going to see much going forward. The rain is going to be very hard to come by in general. Mostly dry weather, and although the temperatures will drop for the weekend with highs in the upper 40s and then rise for early next week with highs in the upper 50s, we are still not expecting anything big when it comes to the swings in temperatures. So overall, very quiet over the next 10 days and very seasonable as we head into the Halloween holiday and the start of November.
All right, Jacob, thank you. Now to consumer news this morning. It's pumpkin season. We're eating them, drinking them, painting and carving them. But have you ever thought about what happens when the season ends?
Yeah, so new this morning, and just in time for Halloween, we're talking about pumpkin waste. Consumer reporter Michelle Renee Quinn here to bring you some sustainable tips for what to do with your pumpkin scraps. All right, Michelle Renee, give us the scoop.
Well, can either of you guess how much pumpkin waste ends up at landfills each year?
Ooh, I'm sure
Sure, it's a lot.
Hundreds of thousands of pounds. Yeah.
More than 1 billion pounds of pumpkin waste. That's according to the Department of Energy. Yeah, a lot of these bad boys. Now, as they decompose, the pumpkins release methane, a powerful greenhouse gas. Environmental experts say you can give your jack-o'-lantern a sustainable afterlife by eating, donating, or composting what's left. Now, before composting, you should remove any candles, plastic, glitter, or other decorations from your pumpkin to speed up the decomposition.
Composting anything organic is better than throwing it out because you're not creating more refuse in landfills. You're not creating methane gas. And it's better for your compost pile to have more organic material in it.
Dane County offers free drop-off locations for composting and food scraps. Now, those are in Madison, Middleton, McFarland, and Verona. And then aside from making pumpkin seeds, you can freeze raw pumpkin for later. It's as simple as cutting it into chunks and putting it in a freezer-safe bag. When you're ready, you can roast, steam, or boil your pumpkin straight from frozen. Now, some recipe ideas are soups, breads, or desserts, of course, like our favorite pumpkin pie. And here with me today, I have a homemade pumpkin spice simple syrup for your coffee. Our producer, Maria, made this for me. And if you guys even want to take a little sniff, it is absolutely phenomenal.
It's good.
There's so much you can do with pumpkin, and I mean, it's a great source of nutrients for wildlife. If you're giving them out, if you're painting your pumpkin, do not give it to wildlife because that paint can be toxic.
Right.
But if you're using it as a decoration throughout the season and you still want to eat it, you can. You just don't want to eat the one that you carve.
Exactly. Yeah. So yeah, make sure it's that fresh pumpkin that's still like enclosed, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right, good tips this morning, Michelle Renee. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Very creative.
All right, coming up in the morning sprint, the Madison School Board approving its budget. So we're going to look at what that means for your property taxes.
But first, if you have a little kid turning 3 soon, please let us know so we can share their picture on TV.
6:54, time for the morning sprint.
New this morning, President Donald Trump made progress on tariffs during his meeting with the Chinese president. Trump agreed to lower overall tariffs on Chinese goods from 57% to 47%. That's because China agreed to take more action on fentanyl. China's Commerce Ministry says it will make corresponding adjustments to its tariffs on the U.S. The nation also agreed to stop its latest controls on the export of rare earth metals and its special port fees on U.S. ships.
Today, former Sun Prairie West High School Dean of Students Robert Gilkey-Messiger will be in court. He faces 15 counts of child sex crimes and has pleaded not guilty. His arrest has led to outrage over the district's handling of the situation. He'll be in court today at 10 o'clock for a scheduling conference.
The Madison School Board has approved a new $668 million budget, raising the total tax levy to nearly $480 million. Homeowners can expect an average property tax increase of about $684, though this decreases with the state school levy tax credit. The November 2024 operating referendum provides $100 million over 4 years, with a $325 per student increase this year.
This morning, communities in Cuba, Haiti, and Jamaica are picking up the pieces after Hurricane Melissa. Secretary of State Marco Rubio said on social media the U.S. is sending rescue and response teams to assist. Several people in Madison are looking for your support to help. You can find details on how to do that right now at channel3000.com.
In Washington, it's now day 30 of the government shutdown. Yesterday, Senate Democrats condemned the Trump administration for refusing to tap into a discretionary fund of $5 billion that would enable SNAP food benefits to continue beyond Saturday. Late congressional leaders reported cautious optimism that meaningful bipartisan talks could be in the works.
And here's a final look at your 10-day forecast. Staying pretty quiet, only a few small chances of rainfall. Getting a little bit cooler for the weekend before warming back up for early next work week, but generally staying seasonable.
All right. Jacob, thank you.
CBS Mornings is coming up next.
Next newscast is at noon. You can find us streaming 24/7 on Channel 3000+.